What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. As you can tell from the title, I've been having a little bit of rust issues with my truck. I plan on doing a complete makeover underneath my truck and try and prevent as much rust from spreading. I've been holding out on this for way too long. It's about time to get this addressed and completely just go to town underneath the vehicle and prevent it from more rust spreading. Now, in order for me to do this, what I'm gonna do is put a product underneath the vehicle. This product is called POR-15, which is paint over rust. So there's a whole process which I'm gonna explain to you guys on what I'm gonna be doing in order to apply this. Hopefully, if everything goes well, it will look minty fresh underneath my truck, which I am very excited for because I'll show you right now, it looks horrible. So as you can see, the rust buildup on this truck is horrendous. It just looks nasty. And this is just, you know, visually looking at it from outside. But if you actually go underneath my truck, it just gets even worse. And we're starting to get to the point where it's just, I've just been putting it off for so long, and as you can tell, it's just over age and neglect from doing anything. It's just starting to tear it up. I mean, look at this. This stuff is just literally flaking off. I'm not an auto body person at all, but this is just unacceptable to say the least, and it's definitely an eyesore. And before I even started, you know, dumping some money into my truck, that was the first thing. Not even the mileage, which I have a lot of mileage. It's like 180,000 for a truck, the most mileage I've had any vehicle. But the number one thing that I was thinking about in my head is, do I want to dump all this money into fixing this truck with that rust issue? And I, at this point, was just like, I don't know if I should do that or not. But I decided, yes, I'm going to go ahead and drop the money in cash and fix this thing up, because of the main reason, I don't want to get back into credit card debt, or I don't want to get back into having automotive debt. That being said, today is going to be the day where I'm actually going to tackle this huge project and bring you guys along for the ride. So here we go. Now that the wheels are off, you can get a better idea of what I'm working with. What I'm going to be doing is prepping the whole frame, probably stop halfway. The axle maybe, and the differential I might repaint. I'm also going to be painting these drums, the brakes, pretty much the whole rear end. This is what I have to work with, people. You got the trailer package that's rusting out on you. You got the frame, of course, up here. Miscellaneous brackets for the trailer package, whatnot. So yeah, I have my work cut out for me under here. It's like, looks like, I think I might just be spending a night under here for a little bit. So if you don't mind me, I'm just gonna take a quick nap, and I'll get back to you guys later.
6.5 hours later.
Alright you guys, so this is it. This is the product that I'll be using. This is POR-15. Came with a kit of metal prep. And then you have your cleaner and degreaser. Of course, your actual product itself. This is in black. I don't know if they have any colors. For what I'm doing, everything is going to be black. So here's the product itself. This is POR-15. I chose to have 6 of the small cans instead of the one large big can, because from what I've heard, one of these small little cans can actually cover a lot. The benefit of having the small cans is that the minute you close the lid on one of these cans, it's, from what I've heard, almost near impossible to reopen it back up. Now, people have used tricks like saran wrap or some sort of way to seal it without having any issues prying it back open again. On top of that, I've also purchased the POR-15 caliper paint. Now, this caliper paint is designed obviously for your brake calipers or drums. POR-15 does not like the sunlight. If you are applying any of this product in direct sunlight, it is always recommended to put a top coat. First thing I'll be doing is thoroughly cleaning underneath the vehicle. We'll start off with a power washer, and then if I need to, we'll get to scrubbing on certain areas, but we need this to be thoroughly clean. After I power washed it, and if there's no scrubbing that I need to do to remove some dirt or grime, then I will go ahead and use the cleaner and degreaser, and then there's a whole process in itself with this. For any of the metals that doesn't have rust, because POR-15 is designed to adhere onto rust, that's when this metal prep will come into action. POR-15 paint over rust loves rust. It adheres really good to rust. Now, if there is no rust and there's just exposed metal, then that's not a problem. You can paint over that too, but you might want to use metal prep to etch it so that it gives a better surface for the paint to stick on, and you don't have to keep on having to repaint that once a year. I'll be metal prepping as well underneath the whole vehicle after it is thoroughly cleaned, and I will explain the process of doing that too. It's a good idea to not use your fancy brushes. Go to your nearest Harbor Freight or local auto parts store where you don't care about disposable brushes such as these. I think all this was like maybe less than $2. One brush for one can. So after I'm done with that can, toss the brush, toss the can, grab another one. So I've been rambling on way too much, so let's just go ahead and start the process. I am gonna get the power washer out right now, and let's go to cleaning. So now's a good time to remove any pieces that might be in the way, like trim pieces or whatever. Just remove all that stuff right now. Go underneath and start power washing in certain areas that you can't get to because you have access panels that are in the way or whatever. So the only panel that I had to take off out of my Silverado was this little shield for the fuel tank, and it gave me the opportunity to expose more areas that was going to be covered. So you're going to want to remove stuff like that out of the way so that when you go and start doing some prep, at least that stuff is not in the way. Remove it now while you still can, clean it thoroughly, and then proceed to the next step. So I'm thinking probably I'm going to stop prepping to like right here, and then I'll focus on this portion in another time, and then just focus from here back, just so that I don't get overwhelmed with this whole process. What I'm going to start doing is put that degreaser, going to town and degreasing all the areas that I want prepped and ready to go. So here for sure, this is probably gonna be the main area because a lot of people are gonna see this more than anything else. I gotta make sure this is prepped thoroughly. This is also a good opportunity to remove things such as your license plate, brackets, and whatever. I just removed everything so I can thoroughly clean under here or paint over here. It's gonna be a lot of work, but trust me, it will be worth it. I'm trying to bulletproof my truck for years to come so that I do not have any more rust, because I hate rust and I don't need any more of it. Let's continue with the process. Everything is degreased, and now what to do is get the power washer out and thoroughly clean everything underneath the vehicle and make sure we didn't miss any areas that needs to be cleaned. This is also the opportunity to scuff down certain areas that has either a lot of stuff that are flaking or a lot of stuff that has a lot of dust and grime built up that the power washer couldn't get off. So this is the opportunity to scrub a lot of the stuff under there. I think the power washer will take it off, so I'm not too concerned about it. The paint over rust will adhere to the rust, but it won't adhere well to loose rust. So knock off all the loose rust first before applying the paint. Let's go. After we've done power washing everything, we're gonna go through with the Metal Prep 50-50 mix with diluted water. We're just gonna spray it, and for the span of 20 minutes, we're gonna keep on spraying it. What you don't wanna do is allow it to dry for 20 minutes. I'm gonna go around and heavily soak this thing, and then after 20 minutes, we'll spray it off again with the power washer, and then that's when we'll let it dry, and then hopefully we'll get a similar outcome where everything is nice and etched and ready for paint. On to the next one. When you're applying this stuff on, don't be afraid to go really heavy with the metal prep. The more coverage you get, I think the better it'll be. And like I said before, not everything needs to be metal prepped, but I am doing everything because I'm just trying to avoid the product from unpeeling in certain spots, and I really just don't want that to happen. So I'm really just trying to do my best and just getting everything I possibly can that might be an issue later on down the road. So I'm just really going all over the place, everywhere, doing it all. Now is going to be the last pass of the power washer. I'm going to thoroughly power wash the entire underneath of the car, and then after that it's just going to be air drying it out. Let it dry out completely. We can apply some paint. This last step is going to be very crucial because it's going to give you an opportunity if you missed some areas that you need to readdress, then do that before you apply the paint, because this is going to be the last step of the process. Definitely take your time if you do have a power washer, which I highly recommend, because if you just have a garden hose, I don't know how long that's gonna last. You would have to do some deep scrubbing if you're just gonna use a garden hose. It's just unreal how much faster you can get things done with a power washer. Borrow one from a friend, do whatever you can. Trust me, you're gonna thank me for it because you're just gonna be there with like a toothbrush compared to like this huge freaking, I don't know, big brush, I don't know. Once you have everything prepped and ready to go, you don't want to shake the can, but thoroughly stir it, and then you can begin painting. It's probably a good idea to lay some stuff on the floor because the last thing you want to do is get some of this product on your driveway. So I had to change. It's probably a good idea to wear clothes that you really don't care about because when this stuff gets on your skin or on your clothes, it's gonna be ruined. If it gets on your skin, it's gonna take at least a week before that stuff can come off. I got the first coat onto the rear bumper location, license plate area, whatever you want to call it. It looks pretty nice. It rained literally probably 5, maybe 4 hours later, and I like this to be cured for like 24 hours before anything gets on it. It didn't look like it really messed up the paint job that much, but to be honest with you, the bumper's gonna go over it. It's gonna be hiding this stuff, so any imperfections I don't really care about.
The next day.
Before I put a second coat on the back, what I'm gonna do is pretty much coat everything with a first layer of this POR-15. I didn't have enough time last night to get full coverage of everything, but basically one can covered the whole back section. So then this midsection, hopefully one can will cover this, and then the section over underneath here hopefully will cover that section. So a total of probably 6 cans of that stuff is gonna cover half of the vehicle. Let's get at it. You know that point in a project where you're just like, maybe I got a little bit over my head with this? That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm not even halfway done, just the back of the vehicle, and there's just so much to cover, but it will all be worth it. So this is going on within 2 days, probably been putting around close to 10 hours of work, and I haven't even gotten that far. So I'm gonna keep at it. Yeah, hopefully the end product will look good. Let's go. Alright, today is the day where we finally do the second coat. I just got done with everything underneath with the first coat, at least halfway through the truck, and then the other half of the portion I'm gonna have to tackle later. I've gotten everything with the first coat. It's looking pretty good. The second coat is going to cover any of the imperfections that I made, and of course add another protective layer. So 2 coats and call it good. So I figured out that 1 can of POR-15 takes about 2 hours to use completely. I recommend definitely when you're opening one of these cans to just use it throughout the whole entire process until it's completely empty, because if you try to close the lid and then save it for later, this lid is going to get solid shut. Like, you're not going to be able to open this lid once it dries. You can try saran wrap and then put the lid over it, but you're probably better off the minute you crack this seal to use all of the paint. So that's something I had to figure out, do a little bit of math and try to figure out, once I open this, how long is it going to take me painting before I empty this can. And it takes me 2 hours of painting. Just to let you guys know, expect to spend at least 2 hours or so using one of these cans. If you have to leave somewhere soon and you just wanted to hit one spot, well, maybe you might want to hold off on hitting that one spot until you use the entire can.
One eternity later.
The second coat is finally done. It took me a long time to do this. I'm pretty exhausted, not gonna lie. This is a very, very time-consuming process. You know, at the end of the day, it's all gonna be worth it, because not only will it prevent it from more rust to spread, but also it will make it look a little bit more prettier to look at as well. Now, I hope every one of you guys enjoy and like this type of content. If you do, please consider subscribing and turn on that bell notification. I will be covering more of POR-15 in the future videos, as well as some rust repair. Not exactly sure how I'm going to go about doing it, but that will be in the future. So as always, thank you for watching my videos and supporting my channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.